Hey, hey, hey. I'm so excited about today's episode. This is me, Janice Anderson, and it's been a minute, but OMG. Grab your pen, grab your paper. You are joining me for a podcast episode that literally is going to change your life, especially if you've been feeling like a little off. So, I want to ask you a question. What do you do when what you're doing, all the ways that you're showing up for your family, your business, your community, you're doing all the things, but you feel like it's still not enough? I gotta check. I gotta check to make sure I'm live. Let's see. Is it showing? Yes, it is. Let me see if y'all can hear me. Yes. Okay, good. We're live. Good, good, good. So let me ask you one more time. So what do you do when you're doing all the things? You're showing up. You're showing up for your family. You're showing up for your business. You're showing up for your friends, your community, and you still feel like it's not enough. What do you do when the effort that you're giving doesn't match the results you're expecting? Let me say that one more time. What do you do when the effort that you're giving doesn't match the results that you're expecting? And you can hear this enemy, whether it's you or the outside enemy, saying, you're behind. You missed it. You should have did something better. You should have done more. Today, I want to share how I walk myself, me, this is going to be about me. I'm just going to let y'all in on what's been going on with me, back to the truth. How I re-anchored myself in God's plan, not just my performance, and why you might be more on track than what you think. Welcome to this episode of the Significant Life podcast. This is a live edition. And so those of you who are watching me live on whatever streaming platform, hey, shout me out. I'm Janice Anderson, your go-to mentor and life strategist for high achieving, faith-filled, and spirit-led women in leadership. In our community, we equip women to heal deeply, lead boldly, and live fully from an anchored place, a place that's aligned and anchored in what is true. So today, I want to talk about what it means to live from your anchored place, even when life doesn't go the way you planned. This episode is for the woman who feels behind, the one who's secretly wondering, did I miss my moment? It's for you if you've been faithful, you've been obedient, but yet you feel discouraged and at times overwhelmed. If you're watching me live, let me know where you're tuning in from. Drop in the comments and let me know where you are. Say hey, who you're listening from, where you're listening from, and invite a friend. Tag a woman who you know needs this message. Don't let her miss this calibration moment. So let's talk. Can we have story time a bit? Last year, at beginning of December, I took myself through this process that I actually do every year with my clients. I go through this process of looking at, hey, I do a few things. We pray into our year. Father, what are you saying? Where are you leading? So we pray into our year, and then we make time to plan. I actually did this process twice. First time I did it with my own business coach and mentor. And we spent a day along with the mastermind community I'm a part of. And we mapped out where we headed from a business perspective. We set our goals, what it will take to get there, why we chose these things, and we mapped out our next steps. But y'all know me. I love group work, but your girl like to go deep. And so prior to walking my own mastermind community, the community I lead, through this process, I took an entire Saturday. I already had 5 pages of business strategy, but I spent an entire strategy walking through my own process of defining and designing my significant life plan of action, not just my business plan of action. So prayerfully and strategically and very intentionally, I entered into this year clear, focused, and fully surrendered to what God had in mind for me. And y'all, I was showing up. I mean, I started out, I was showing up. My husband and I, we launched a new business, which I'm very proud of. I have been working diligently with my clients in the Significant Life community, walking with them privately, mentoring them, coaching them, making sure they're equipped to be the leaders and phenomenal women that God designed them to be. Been secretly working on a few writing projects in the background. I found myself, volunteering, being a mama, being a wife, praying, doing all the things. And yet, all I could see is what I hadn't done yet. Only thing I was rehearsing in my mind recently was the missed mastermind calls, the places in my business that were stalled, the milestones I hadn't yet met, slow payments, this stubborn midlife weight that came out of nowhere. Perimenopause, who was very disrespectful, showed up on her own timeline, tried to wreak havoc in my life, is throwing me off, delayed dreams. And I started questioning myself, did I miss it? Did I miss something? Am I behind? I started praying, Father, search my heart, examine me. I literally was praying a prayer of repentance for the places where I was misaligned or overly ambitious or not surrendered fully to his plan and his process. I don't know about you, but that's just how I am. When things go awry, I first look inward. I look at, what did I do? What did I miss? And to be honest, many of the women that I serve, that's who we are. We're not blame shifters. We don't shift the blame onto anyone else, but we also tend to take on blame that doesn't belong to us. But through prayer and a heart to heart, honest conversation with one of my best friends, I realized, girl, you ain't off track. I was just discouraged. I wasn't behind. Discouragement set in, and it quietly had me slipping into this place of shame. Me, the coach, the strategist, the mentor who walks others through this very work, without even realizing it, I was slipping into this form of self-sabotage known as shame, but it was silent, and I didn't even realize that's what it was. So while I'm trying to recalibrate, that's why I said I just need to recalibrate. It's mid-year. This is what I do every year around this time. Let me just go back, reset myself, recalibrate. I said when I was in a dental office, and actually I did this today, I was like, I said for the last few days, I'm going to go back, I'm going to pull out my plan, I'm going to work on my plan, recalibrate. But today was the day I had a chance. While taking my 16-year-old to the dentist this morning, I took my plan, the one that I had mapped out, all the pages. I took that with me to the dental office, along with my journal, along with my notebook, and I started looking back at what I had written in December. I had the 5 pages from my business recalibration, along with what I did in my own personal life plan, my 13 pages. Then I was replaying this conversation that I had with my girlfriend, and I realized I was honoring my plan, y'all. I mean, I hadn't done everything to the T, but I was honoring my plan. I actually was honoring what I said I was going to do. The very defining and designing my significant strategy that I teach, I was aligned with it. It's just the results hadn't quite caught up yet. So today, I want to invite you to walk with me, not in guilt, but in grace, not from pressure or performance, but from your anchored place. Because what I know for sure is this: living from your anchored place doesn't mean staying on schedule or achieving all of your goals, but it does mean staying in alignment. So if you haven't by now grabbed your pen and paper, grab your pen and paper, and I'm going to walk you through one portion of what we do in our define and design your significant life plan of action. We have this, what we create is our significant life map. And MAP actually is an acronym. It's a multifaceted acronym, but it's my anchored place, because your anchored place is not the same as my anchored place. So when we're looking at what is the map that's guiding us, it's all centered around our anchored place. So how do we even get there? So the M in the map is mind alignment. It's the time when we bring our thoughts, our imaginations, our understanding, our focus, and our attention into alignment with what is true. Like we tend to focus this first act of aligning ourselves and bringing ourselves to this place of groundedness and anchored peace by aligning who we are in light of what we see. Because if we're not careful, ladies, this is usually where we get derailed. Our first place of derailment is our self perception. Because usually, when the evidence around us doesn't align with the desires within us, the first thing we say is, what's wrong with me? So when we bring our mind into alignment into what is true, we're looking at what is the highest truth? What is the absolute truth? What will be true no matter what? And sometimes that means asking myself in the very moment, is what I'm saying about me the absolute truth? Is this the absolute truth? Is this going to always be true? Now, here's the thing about when we look at this mind alignment, the thing that we tend, when we really examine ourselves, examine our thoughts, examine our imagination, examine our self talk, oftentimes when we align it with what is highest truth, what is the absolute truth, the highest truth, what we find is it don't be, I always mess up. Like I'm always behind. No, you're not. Because there's one time you weren't behind. Because you could think of one time where you were not behind. You could think of one time when you were not late. You could think of one time when you actually accomplished your goal, can't you? So when we're thinking about that, and what I'm doing here is I'm interrogating my own thoughts. And I'm saying, is this really true? What I'm saying about me secretly, is it really true? And then after we bring our thoughts and our imagination and our understanding in alignment with what is true about ourselves, we ask ourselves, what is true about these circumstances? Sometimes we catastrophize things. Sometimes this really is a catastrophe. Like, oh my gosh, this is so horrible. It's never going to be good. I can't even imagine. I don't know why I'm here. I'm never going to get out of this. You know how you say those things in your head? Like it's going to take forever. Is it really going to take forever though? And so in this process, we shift our perspective and we raise our perspective to a higher perspective. Now, in this community, we are God girls. We love the Lord. And so we always anchor our perspective in his perspective. What does he say about this thing? What does he say about me? What does he say about this? What does he say about this journey, this process, this place that I'm in? And how can I align myself, align my thoughts, align my understanding, align my imagination about with what he has said is true? Now, in our community, when we're doing this is all backed by a vision, okay? This is backed by this vision that we've taken time to pray through, this place where we've taken time to invite God in. And so we know what his thoughts are concerning our family. We know what his thoughts are concerning our children. We know what his thoughts are concerning our finances and our financial future. We know what his thoughts are concerning our health, because in our planning, in our mapping this out, we not only dreamed, we not only said, this is what I really want for my life. We're like, God, and how does this align with what you want for me? How does this align with what you said about me? And I can tell you, he's never wanting you at the bottom. He's never wanting you always struggling. He's never wanting you lacking. Like he's never wanting that. God doesn't need you to struggle to get to the point. He doesn't need you to work. Is this belief that I see for many Christian women, especially ones in leadership that serve deeply. Somehow they've equated suffering with surrender. And while the journey of a believer does include suffering, I mean, we live in a fallen world. We live in a world at war. We do. It's at war. It's at war. We have a real live enemy that is against us and against our Father. He don't like us because he don't like our daddy. So we live in a world at war. So there will be suffering. But God doesn't need suffering to draw us near to him. He doesn't need suffering to be the indication that we've surrendered. And so sometimes we suffer needlessly. We stay stuck in places and in cycles that God never intended for us to be a part of. But we thought, like he told me one year, I don't know, it had to be like 20 years ago, Janice, you've climbed many mountains you could have easily walked around because you thought, not because I said, only through pain and suffering could you please me. So when we are in this first part of our map, we are aligning our mind with what is the highest truth and what does God say about the thing that's in question. First us, then our desires, then our circumstances. My question to you is, what are your thoughts, your imagination, your understanding in this moment about you and your circumstances saying about God and how he sees you? Do your thoughts align with what he said? Okay. The second thing we do is in our map process. So first we have a mind align. Then the second thing we do is we assess our allegiances. So when we're navigating, defining and designing our significant life plan of action, like how are we going to move about this next set of 90 days or 6 months or 12 months, whatever the time period that you designate, we say, you know what? Let me check something. Let me check my allegiance. This is where we get real about what we're actually committed to versus what we say we're committed to. That's what I had to do. I mean, you can't live a significant life when your vision and your values are in conflict. I mean, that don't go. A lot of times I see that though. I see many women, they have this vision. I want to travel the world, make a lot of money, be really famous, and I want to raise all my kids, be at home, I want to cook every meal. I want to do all, like, really? Like sometimes the things that you want don't align with what you say. I value family, quality time, a life of margin, and rest. Those are things that I value. I value my spirituality and living out my faith. Yet, in order to accomplish my vision, it requires that I compromise. That don't go. So we look really and we say, does what I say I want, what I'm pursuing, does it align what I say with what I say I value? So I had to ask my own self, Janice, are you more committed to not disappointing your peers, to checking off the boxes and say, I did this, I did that, I finished this, to looking good online? Or are you committed to living the life that you lead others to live? I am a woman who values a few things. My highest core value is freedom. The moment I feel like I'm not free, I'm quitting it. I'm quitting you. I'm quitting the thing. I'm quitting all the stuff because I don't want to feel like I'm in bondage. Number 2, I value fun. I have to laugh. I am the woman who will find something funny in the craziest moments. Like, I just like to laugh. My husband be looking like, are you laughing right now? I'm the most unserious person at the most inopportune time. Let me get a cramp in a moment. I start laughing. Hey, hold up, pause, my leg cramping, and just bust out laughing. Why am I like this? I don't know. I value fun. I have to be free to be me. I value my faith. I value living a life that honors God, his life for me, his agenda for me, his plans toward me, what he's spoken about me, his promises toward me, and honors who I am. One of my values is my family. It is important to me that I show up, that I'm present, that my daughters see me present, that my husband sees a wife that's committed to him and to us and to our home flourishing, to being life-giving, to the first place that they feel seen, celebrated, and fully supported is at home. I'm committed to that. So I can't be more committed to everything else, disappointing my peers, checking the boxes, not disappointing my peers, checking the boxes and looking good online than I am to the things that I said. Like, and I'm also committed to living a life of margin. And so when I thought about that, I had to make some hard decisions. How this showed up for me in this past year is I am deeply committed to growth and to being the best at whatever I am a part of. Like if I'm I'm going to be married. I want to be the best wife to my husband. I want to be, wife of the year in his eyes. Don't matter what my friends think. It really only matters what he thinks. And so I work diligently to be a better wife. Well, in my business, I work very diligent to be a good steward of the businesses that the Lord has given me and to learn the best strategies and tactics and to really have support getting out of my own way. I'm a really smart woman and I've been in business for a long time, but there are several blind spots that I have, even though I've been doing this for a long time. So I invest in my business growth and maturity and forward motion through a high level mastermind. And so it's important I'm paying my money that I show up, that I get involved in the community, that they know me and I know them, because I know not only is the community there to support me in achieving my goals and fulfilling the things that I know I'm called to do in the earth through these businesses, but I am a meaningful contributor to whatever community I'm a part of. If I'm in the room, the community is better. So I take it seriously when I'm a part of these experiences and these masterminds and communities and events, whatever it is. If I'm there, I'm participating full out. But this first half of the year, I couldn't. And I started feeling so guilty because I wasn't making the calls and I wasn't as present as I normally am or would like to be. But here's where it got tricky. Because I then started feeling like I gotta show up, not I get to show up. I can't miss it, not I don't want to. I was tired. I've already shared with you the things that I was doing. This year we launched a new business, my husband and I. And if you've ever launched a business and startup needs a lot of attention. Even if you think you know what you're gonna do, even if you are smart in business and you're well qualified to do business, it requires time, energy, effort. I'm walking through the processes, making sure things are what we want them to be. I'm just all in. We have 3 daughters and their ages are all in pretty much different generations, and every one of them thinks they're only child. I volunteered to be this year the assistant varsity basketball coach. Hello. Ma'am, what shape are you in? 0. What you doing out here with teenage girls, backing them, posting them up, trying to make sure they know what to do? That was a whole adventure. It was great though. And then I was also the room mom for my 5-year-old. My margin was getting thinner and thinner and thinner. And then there's that time that I'm married to this amazing man who loves me and our family so much. And it is important to me that he knows that he's loved, appreciated, seen, celebrated, and fully supported just as much as he supports us. That was leaving very little room for the things that I value and I adore and I appreciate. It's just at this time, I can't give as much time. And I had to ask myself, what are you more in allegiance to, Janice? Where's your allegiance? Is it living this life of margin, or is it making sure you don't let anybody down? Step 2 in the MAP process is very important. When you assess your allegiances and you get clear on what really matters to me, what am I really committed to? You find yourself asking yourself, am I as committed as I say I am? And then step 3, in this MAP program process, remember M is for a mind align. I'm bringing my thoughts, I'm bringing my understanding, I'm bringing my decisions, I'm bringing my reasoning in alignment with the highest truth. So my perspective shifts because I bring my mind in order. Then A, I'm assessing my allegiance. Where am I more committed to? What do I really value? Is how I'm showing up in alignment with what I say I value or what I want others to think or just other things. And then the P is now I have a purpose and value-driven plan of action. Purpose and value-driven plan of action. This is where we design a plan that is anchored in our values and our purpose, not the expectations of others. And so we get intentional about our path forward, not based on what everyone else is doing, not even based on what we did last year. Part of my planning process, we take a look back. We look at what went well in the last 12 months or whatever the last time period was, the last 90 days, last 6 months, last 12 months. We celebrate those things. We looked at What didn't go so well? What didn't go as planned? And sometimes, if you're not careful, what you'll try to do is in this new year, bring all the things that didn't go as planned and make them part of your goals, except for they may not be what God is inviting you into in this hour. It may not align with the season of life you're in. So it has to be purposeful. So then this part, we design the plan because we define what success looks like, and then we design a plan that matches it. So here's where I want you to lean in, because I can spend the entire episode just walking you through each one of these components in detail. Like I said, in our community, we spend an entire day. Sometimes I spend the entire month walking through this define and design process, giving the women in our community time to digest, to pray, to think about, and to map out each component of this process so that when they come on the other side, their 13 pages are complete and they know this is my roadmap for this designated period. We don't have 13 pages worth of time to go through on this podcast. So here's what I want to do. One more time, if you haven't grabbed that paper, go ahead and grab that paper. I'm going to give you a quick assignment and I'm going to walk you through this exercise as if I were coaching you in real time. I want you to just center your heart, invite Holy Spirit in. He's already here because I prayed before I got started on this podcast, but invite him into where you are to guide you. The Bible says that he is not only our comforter, but he's the Spirit of truth, and he will lead you into all truth. And so we want to invite Holy Spirit to lead us into the truth concerning who we are, and where God is leading us to. You inviting him in? Okay. So first we're going to do a mindset check. Are your thoughts, your imaginations, your understanding, your focus, and your attention in alignment with what is true? All I want you to do is identify one belief, one thought you're having right now that's been so loud in your life. And you know it's not the absolute truth, but it's been loud. Let's write it out. Maybe it's I'm always going to be stuck here. Maybe we never get a break. Does God even hear me? It is what it is. Whatever that thought is, write it down. Now, you don't have time to do it right now, but what I want you to do is write an A with a circle on it. That's how when I'm taking notes, sidebar, at an event, and I hear this really good thought, and I want to go back and take action on that thought, I'd write an A for action, and I circle it. And then later when I get home, I go to all the places in my notes where I have an A with a circle, and that's my plan of action. So I want you to go back to it, and here's the action I want you to take. What does God say about that? I know that's what you've been thinking, but what does he say? Because his truth is the highest truth. The second thing I want you to do is now I want you to assess your allegiances. Are your allegiances in alignment with what you say you value? I want you to list your top 3 priorities. Right? List your top 3 priorities, maybe for the next 6 months, the next 90 days. What are your top 3 priorities right now? Here's the action. Look at your calendar. Look at your bank statement from the last month, the last 3 months, and ask, because your calendar, that's a record of your time and what you value, what you've given your time to. And your time is a good indication of what you value. And your money, your bank statement is an indication of where your money went. And your money, the Bible says, where your heart is, there your treasure is also. So your bank statement could let you know what you really value from a heart perspective. And then ask yourself, I know that I said these are my top 3 priorities, but does this align? I'll tell you what happened for me and why I'm doing this. Because while I was sitting in discouragement about what I had not achieved yet and what I had not done yet, and how, oh my goodness, Janice, I can't believe you're right here, right now. Like, how did we miss this? Like, I can't believe that these goals aren't where we are. I can't believe that I missed these milestones. And I was feeling all off kilter and like, man, I'm all over the place. And Oh, I just need to hunker down and get back focused. When I look back at what I said my priorities were, and when I look back at what I said I wanted to accomplish this year, y'all, I'm on track. The numbers aren't adding up. The results haven't hit yet. But what I said I value, I've been putting my values to. Quite honestly, we pick in this process of navigating our life and creating our life plan of action. When we create our map, our allegiances, and our plan, we don't have a lot of things on there, okay? We literally narrow everything down to if nothing else could happen in the next 12 months. If the only thing that I could accomplish in this next 12 months is this one thing, would one thing would make me feel successful, would make me feel anchored, would make me feel like, okay. Now, we also, when we pick that thing, we tend to make goals and plans and priorities that are leveraged, which means when we accomplish this, this allows for something else to be accomplished. This helps out. This makes everything else, as what's the guy name who wrote the one thing? I can't think of his name right now, but this makes everything else easy or unnecessary. So we are very strategic about our goals. Y'all know I'm a strategist around here. So we're not just picking things that feel good. We pick goals that have leverage built into them. So when I accomplish this, it makes several other things easier or unnecessary. So when I did that back in December, I picked the goal. I was strategic about it. I was prayerful about it. I was intentional about it. It's just when I looked now and the results didn't happen as fast because it's a journey and I don't get to predict how the journey goes. I only get to control how my actions are aligned and what I do. One of the things we say in our company, and I share it with my clients, we don't control the outcome. We can only control our actions. You don't control the outcome. You're not in control of the outcome or the timing. The only place where you have absolute control is your action. And so do your actions align with your priorities? And when I went back, they do. I feel good. So you got your 3 priorities. Look back at your calendar, your bank statement. Do they match? This is not shame if they don't. It just lets you know this is the information I need to make a different decision. Lastly, let's check your purpose path. Let's check to see if your path is purposeful and in alignment with your values, or if your path is all over the place. So complete this sentence. If I were living from my anchored place, the one thing I would absolutely do differently this week is this. If I were living from my anchored place, this is what I would do differently. You might even say, what I do differently this month. What would you do differently if you were living from your anchored place? Write that down. Take a deep breath. Listen, I know it wasn't a lot, but it was a lot. And what I just walked you through is just the tip of the iceberg. Because when you truly live from your anchored place, everything changes. I've had the privilege of walking over 600 women through inner healing journeys and personally mentoring and coaching 88 women in living their significant life. And here's what I see consistently. When women move from scattered to anchored, they experience a 40% reduction in the negative emotional responses to adverse events. They're not reacting, they're responding from a centered, anchored, grounded place and not spiritual bypassing. We don't do that over here. 65% of the women have greater persistence when facing challenges. They don't believe it's going to take them out, and they're not just powering through. They know when they need to press pause, and they know when they need to press through. 47% of the women have higher life satisfaction score. They are happy in every sense of the word, even when circumstances don't look the way they want it to look. And 91% of them have a higher chance of achieving their goals compared to the good intentions they had coming in. But more than the numbers, this is what I see. The women I serve, they stop apologizing for taking up space. They are no longer over explaining their decisions. They lead with the confidence that comes from knowing who they are and whose they are, not just at a mental, cognitive level, but at a heart level. They become the women who build, who lead, who shape this world from an unshakable foundation. And I want to let you know, if you're a woman, that's available for you too. Now, you may be wondering, Janice, who are you and how can you exactly help me with this? And for those of you who are new, I want to remind you of who I am. First of all, I'm a daughter of the King. Yes, I am a licensed minister. I am a certified professional and personal executive life coach. I am an ICF, yes, that was a hard credential, professionally certified coach with credentials that matter. I live up to a standard. I'm a woman submitted to a set of rules and a set of standards. And more importantly, more than the credentials, the degrees, I didn't even name them, more than even what others have to say about me. I, like many of you, have navigated major setbacks. I survived an abusive marriage, the loss of both my mother and father. Listen, a less than ideal upbringing that could have literally destroyed who I am. I've experienced the transformation that I teach. So I don't coach from theory, although I respect it. I coach from victory because I've lived it. And I have developed the Anchored Place Life Model, which is our proprietary framework that integrates biblical principles with neuroscience, positive psychology, professional coaching. This is not just inspiration. It is transformation along a proven path from a trusted source. Girl, I've seen this work in my lives and in the lives of those that I have the honor of serving, women who are exactly where you are right now. So here's what I want you to do. If what you've heard today resonates with you and you're tired of feeling scattered and you're ready to live from your anchored place, I want to invite you to book your significant life clarity call with me. And you can come relaxed. This isn't a sales call. This is a strategic conversation where you and I will get clear on what's really holding you back from living anchored and aligned. We will identify the specific areas where you are scattered versus where you're already strong. And then we'll create a personalized roadmap for your next steps. If one of my programs is right for you, then I'll invite you to join me, and girl, we'll get the party started. But if it's something else that I think could support you more for where you are in this season of your life, I'll be happy to make the referral. These calls can last anywhere from 25 to 45 minutes, but by the end, you'll be more clear about your path forward than you probably have been in months. I only do a limited amount of these calls each month because, quite frankly, you've heard my schedule, just a glimpse that you've heard. I like to serve deeply the women that have already committed to this journey with me. I love my husband and my children. I like being around them and showing up fully for them. So I'm very, very protective of my time. So if you're ready, and I mean you are ready to dive in and do the work required to be the woman you know you are called to be and live the life you were born to live, use the link that is in the caption of wherever you're watching this and book your significant life clarity call with me. Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with this. Your inconsistency doesn't disqualify you. Your struggles do not diminish you in any bit. Your transitions do not define you. You are defined by who you are, the purpose He's placed within you. I am living proof that, girl, you can bounce back and come back from any season of silence, any season of setback, any season of destruction, stronger, more anchored, more aligned than ever before. And I'm here happily and excited to help you do the same. If you're still with me live, drop a comment and let me know. I'll stick around to talk with you for a minute. But if not, I look forward to having a call with you. What is one thing from today that you're going to implement this week that proves your commitment to you, that you are ready now to live your significant life journey? My final thing. Y'all, did I say I was a preacher? I want you to remember this. You are chosen. You are called. And you have everything you need to be the woman God called you to be. You have nothing to prove, but you have so much to give when you live your life from an anchored place. Until next time, stay anchored, stay aligned, keep building the significant life you were called to live. Remember to book your significant life clarity call with me using the link in the captions. Talk to you soon. Bye. All right, if you're here and you're live, I am taking comments. Hey, Anisha. Hey, girl. Thank you so much. You said this is good. I probably should have had the letters in white, huh? Thank you so much. I'm glad you're here. Good to see you. Anybody else? Any comments, questions? I'm here. If you have any thoughts, comments, anything, I'm going to stick around for a while to answer any questions you may have. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Let me get some water. Give room. If you're listening back to the replay and you want to say something, just drop your comment. I do come back and I myself answer these posts. So if you're here live with me, talk to me. Let me know you're here. Say, hey, girl, hey. And if you have a question, drop it in a comment. Drop it in the comment section and I can see it, whether you're on YouTube or Facebook. I think that's where I'm streaming from. All right. If that's it, I will see you next time. Thanks for stopping by. Y'all be blessed. And I will see you soon. Bye.